Welcome to another page to. I don't really talk like that. That's my constipated voice. I used to do in elementary school, which is usually good for a laugh. I'm talking about a really traumatic story that happened when I was in elementary school. It's the pot bust that happened at our house. So I'll just dive back in. I laugh, but it was heavy at the time. So the police came to our school. The topic is marijuana abuse in children. It's based on a recent pot bust right here in town. Sadly, children as young as you are using drugs in their own homes. Why do you think they call it dope? Did she just look at me when she said that? I almost shit my pants. Surely Officer Whitehead was one of the cops in our house during the bust. The entire Davis Police Department was there. He's bound to recognize me. He'll say, "Sometimes the dope fiend is the little boy sitting right next to you in class," and he'll put his hands on my shoulders. I cannot allow this to happen. I have no choice but to fake a sudden illness and become mortally ill in seconds flat. I clutch my stomach and bend over. I actually feel pain. I tell the teacher I have stomach cramps and need to see the nurse. For some reason, I'm limping too, as if the abdominal cramps have mysteriously spread to my knees. I sit in the nurse's office while she calls my mother. No one answers. She's probably outside trimming roses. We don't have roses. We have a compost pile. This is a world-class performance. I'm acting up a storm, wrenching in pain, gasping for air, and having minor seizures. Will you be able to make it home by yourself? If I walk my bike slowly, I probably will survive. Even though I'm faking the illness, my nerves are shot. The thought of people finding out it was my family is causing more anxiety than the bust itself. Mayor has us attend several lie meetings during the next few days to make sure all of our stories match. She instructs us to tell the cops that she's a great mother, actively involved with our academic achievements, who rarely leaves us unattended. One of Charlie's long-haired friends is a lawyer. He takes the case on principle alone, and maybe some weed too. This man's favorite expression is "out of sight." The way he drags out the S is highly annoying. Despite this flaw, he gets all the charges against our mother dropped and manages to convince the court that she's an excellent care provider and devoted mother. Apparently, the police did not enter our house legally. Mayor is sentenced to 6 months probation for having marijuana residue and paraphernalia in her house, but will not serve time. I'm relieved that our mother isn't going to prison. She's much too soft to hang out with real criminals. I'm sure she would have been bitch traded by Big Betty to Large Marge for a pack of smokes. After her arrest, Mayor smokes pot with the conviction of a Rastafarian communicating with God. She sparks up fatties in the front window in our living room. How dare they question my parenting? They can't tell me how to live my life, she says, passing the joint to one of her kids. Drugs are not the only thing our mother likes to share. One day, Mare pedals home from downtown with a record she wants us all to listen to. She reveals the album with her trademark, ta-da! There's an illustration of a whale leaping out of the water on the cover. This is called Songs of the Humpback Whale. These are actual whale songs recorded underwater. She's super excited about this. That's usually where they sing, Charlie says, laughing. We decide to get good and baked, and then Mare drops the needle on the first track. It starts with random, high-pitched squeals and sonar-like clicking sounds. We're not impressed, but our mother insists it will get better. The next noises build until they start to sound like my stomach when I'm very hungry. While our mother closes her eyes to focus fully on the sound, Charlie and the rest of us are trying not to laugh. It's not easy. At about what seems like 9 hours into side one, a new song, quote unquote, starts. This one sounds exactly like the 7-minute blubbery wet fart. Charlie's dog, Blue, freezes and cocks his head at impossible angles. The whale fart transitions into echoing layers of intense, pitchy whistling. Blue lies down and begins growling at one of the speakers. Mare opens her eyes. These songs can be heard for hundreds of miles. The whole ocean is like a living concert, she says, fully enjoying the album. Blue jumps up and barks at the speaker. Then, in a desperate attempt to escape, he runs directly into the sliding glass door. Alex opens the door. The dog runs into the yard and starts sliding his ears into the grass as if trying to get the sound out of his head. Mare closes her eyes again. I'd have to call this beautiful, she says seriously. I lock eyes with my sister Chris, and we're lip syncing without saying a word. I'd have to call you crazy. We cross our eyes and draw cuckoo bird circles around our ears. We bite our tongues to keep from laughing. This is more fun than we expected, and we're beg her to put on side 2. For the next 16 and a half minutes, we trip out on 3-whale trip. In the end, I add humpback whale to my list of impressions. I now speak several dialects fluently. So I still do have the whale imitation in my repertoire. I'll do a little bit for you. Stay tuned. I'll see you next Tuesday for another read with Tom's Page Turning Tuesday. See you then.